Activewear.
Thank you.
I know you might not remember this, but the first time I met you and we were talking about Vivo Activewear, you did give me a voucher for clothing for my niece.
I did?
And she's very excited till today.
Oh, wow. That's
we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about, first, that story that we saw here today. That young lady, 26-year-old, Cleopatra Wanjigo, and the business she's doing. She gave her parents the degree they wanted. But she said, that's not for me. I'm getting into design. If you talk about that now, I am thinking, stupid girl.
Why? Because she didn't study design, or because
you've got a degree in public health? I think that pays.
But you know, in life, you've got to do, especially the younger generation, they will not thrive unless they're doing something that they enjoy. Right. So, you know, you get the degree if your parents, you know, insist on it, hand it over, and then turn around. You meet so many people who have studied one thing and are doing something completely different. All
right. So if you were to look at Cleopatra today, would you tell her, bravo, you've done a good thing?
I am so impressed. I mean, I loved what I saw. I went on her Instagram page as well, and I could see that lots of followers, lots of amazing products. She's very creative. So what she's doing, even though, yes, she's using, you know, kitenge and Ankara and African prints, she's using them in ways that are quite unique. And offering a wide range. So some of her stuff is very casual, it's t-shirts, it's hoodies and sweatshirts, and then others is a bit, you know, more smart, things that you could wear even to church, for example. Right. So I think, and her price points are amazing. So I think everyone who's on Instagram should definitely follow her page and see what she's offering.
You're saying her price points are amazing, and I'm thinking, on average, she's sold a jacket to my colleague at 1,500.
1,700.
Oh, 1,700.
Sarah was trying to bargain down. But
at 1,700, what's her profit margin?
You know, it all depends on what makes the cost of a product will be the fabric. So how you source your fabric, what price you're paying for it, how much of it you use in the piece that you're making, and then also the labor that's involved. So if she's stitching it herself, you know, she went and taught herself, self-taught how to make clothes, which is also really impressive. Then she's also, you know, that's costing her maybe less than if she had to outsource that to someone else. I am sure that as she grows, you know, you then make up for that with volumes. So the more that you're making, you can bring your average cost down, and then you can keep your price affordable for the consumer. But I think those prices are great.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk about you because you're also in this industry.
Yes.
But just before that, if you were to advise Cleopatra on what she needs to do next so that she can scale up her business, what would that be?
I think she has to invest even more on marketing and on you know, using digital marketing, social media marketing. She already has a decent following, but you know, if I was sitting across from her, I'd want to know how much of that is a return on her investment, because now you don't necessarily have to have a physical store. You know, gone are those days. I mean, the fastest growing fashion brands in the world right now are e-commerce. They're online and they're selling globally. And she's already doing a lot of that. And some of the prices that maybe, you know, might seem relatively high here are not necessarily high in other parts of the world. You will find people are willing to even pay shipping worth more than what that...
Yeah, because she says she exports even to the US.
Yes.
How is she able to do that?
You can do that. I mean, you know, if someone's willing to pay the shipping, and these days there are a lot of different alternatives. There are companies that are taking African products and warehousing it in the US, so they're taking it in bulk. Otherwise, you can sell on an individual basis, but that becomes a bit more expensive. Right.
This Ankara kind of clothing is becoming popular. Where is it coming from?
You know, I think it's been popular, and especially in other parts of Africa. West Africans have worn primarily Ankara, what we would call kitenge clothing.
So Ankara is basically
it's basically the same thing.
So it's just a fancy name.
Yeah, it's what West Africans would refer to the same way we have different names for ugali or whatever, you know. Right. But I think it's becoming more regular in Kenya. I think it's something that our parents wore, we wore to events. If there's a wedding, if there's a ceremony or something. Now it's becoming a typical thing, and I think recently our president announced that Friday should be, you know, made in Kenya dress day. And so you're seeing even civil servants and people who typically dress like you know, in suits and ties and things like that are you know, playing around with a bit more color and flavor.
Interesting that you're mentioning me. Can you imagine me reading news with an Ankara
Yes,
top?
yes, and why
Would
not?
you take me seriously?
Yes.
So that's good business for Cleopatra.
Absolutely.
Then. All right.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little about you. You've really grown in what you do. Tell us a little bit about, give us your experience, because now you're in literally all the malls around Nairobi.
Well, not quite, but we now have 14 stores. So 10 are in Nairobi, 4 are outside of Nairobi, which for us was a big deal to get locations outside. So we're in Eldoret, Nakuru, Mombasa we've been for a while, and recently in Kiambu, so that's working well. And now we're focusing, I mean, I want tips from Cleopatra because we're trying to see how we can export and how we can do that without necessarily opening stores in the countries that we serve. So we do have clients in different parts of the world, but they tend to be individual clients.
Right. Talking about exporting and being big outside the country, we are not seeing Kenyan designers doing that a lot. Other than maybe the M-Pesa that we've given the world, we're really not famous for anything else. And here in Kenya, we wear the Guccis, we wear the Nikes.
Or the fake ones. You know what's interesting? I mean, you're asking the question tonight, does fashion pay? You know, when someone is opening a restaurant, do people say, does food pay? Yet we all have to eat every day. We all get dressed every single day. So there are 45, 47 million Kenyans who wake up every day, and every one of us gets dressed. And so that in and of itself is a value that is there to be captured. Who is capturing it? It's not Kenyans. We've been wearing other clothes made by other people, designed. That's where the money goes. And I think it's time we claim this industry back.
All right. So buy Kenya, build Kenya. Can that really work?
Absolutely. And we've looked at the numbers. You know, we will create almost 15 to 20 times as many jobs when clothes are made in Kenya as we do when we import them. We will contribute 15 to 20 times more revenue to the government, and jobs that people are, paid monthly, have pay slips, can open bank accounts, can get loans. You know, it changes the game completely, and it's an industry that everywhere in the world people take very seriously. Some of the richest, most successful companies globally are in the textile fashion space. H&M, Zara, so there is no reason. I think, when parents are nervous about their children going into it, there's no reason to be if you look at it as a business.
You finished that for me. I mean, anything we add will spoil this story. And that's how we end this discussion. Thank you very much, Wandia, for coming to studio and talking to us and really encouraging the young people that this is an industry that does indeed pay.
Yes.
And I hope they will take it up. And I hope Cleopatra Wanjiku has learned something, as well as her colleagues and her friends and other people in artistic industry, if I can call it that.